Hello, crafty friends. My name is Chris Reinhardt. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ormond Beach, Florida. Welcome to my craft table. Today we're going to be making one of 3 cards that I've done with the Cutest Crew. Another one of those cutesy stamp sets that I said I'm not really drawn to, but this one really caught my eye also. I especially love the birds. But today we're going to be using the little puppy dogs for our card. And this is the card we're going to be making. I thought it was hysterical. I hope people like the bow wow sentiment. I didn't have a stamp that said bow, so I just printed that off. I made it in a Word document and printed it off and cut it out. But I really liked the bow wow sentiment, and inside congratulations. It just seemed like it was a definite congratulatory card. So let me show you what supplies we need for the card, and then we'll get to making it. All right, there's a lot of different supplies. First thing, of course, you're going to need a cloud cover base that is, let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. That is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and the inside will be a white layer that's 5 1/4 by 4. On top of that, we have a white layer that is embossed with the exposed brick embossing folder. And that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then I used the textured notes dies to cut out some DSP. I used this die here to cut out some DSP. And that is from the Peaceful Garden DSP. It's the back of this piece here. And of course, the little puppies. The graduation, or the congratulations, is from the Reason to Celebrate stamp set. The wow I cut out from the Alphabet a la Mode. And that's in in cloud cover. And I cut out the bow with die from the Perfectly Pears. Just a little die here, which is easy to get lost. So I'm going to set that right there on my lamp so I don't lose it. You're also going to need the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. I used the cloud cover one for the exclamation point. And you could add a few more up here if you wanted to. I just used the one on the exclamation point. And then you'll need a piece of scrap white to cut out your dogs, and some markers to color them in however you want. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start by stamping our dog. And I used Memento Black. So you just need to stamp that on a piece of white scrap paper. And you're going to die cut it. That's pretty close. I hope that's going to be big enough. I've actually already done this, so that looks good. And you're going to die cut it out with the dies in the set, which I've done here, and color them in. Now I'm just going to color one of them. I've got the whole line of them colored. I'm just going to color one to show you how I did it. I'll do this last one. I did him in crumb cake, so I used light crumb cake to start with, and I used the not the brush end but the other end. And I just pretty much just colored it all in with the light to start with. And then we'll use the dark to get some shadows on him or her. It was funny, yesterday I wasn't sure if the paw prints were dog or cat prints. So I posted it on a Facebook page, and I was amazed at how many people didn't know either. The consensus was they were cat prints, but that they could be used for either one, which I'm sure that's what Stampin' Up! Was thinking. Okay, we're ready for the dark. And I just use it on the bottom, on his belly, back of his tail, and then we're going to blend. I'm not really a good colorer, so I'm sure that you can do a better job of this than I can. And just sort of blend in that dark. So basically that's all I did was color the 4. Here's the finished one that I've got. I used various colors of brown. I think I used a smoky slate on this one. I think I used Pebbled Path on this one, and I also used the color lifter to make it a little splotchier. And this one I used some of the like bronze. I can't remember what color that was. Anyway, they sell a set of different browns, and I probably used one of those. And again, I used a darker color and blended those. So I'm going to set that aside. Can't pick that up. Okay. So what we're going to do now is cut out our letters. And I've cut them out already, the wow with the exclamation point. And I find it easier if you lay them out on your grid paper and then use a T-ruler to make sure that they're straight, and then tape them together when you have them the way you want them. And then we'll be able to add glue, and they'll be in the right position, and then we'll be able to put them on the card. So let's get our card together. We've die cut the DSP using the textured notes dies. We're going to add that to the top. Glue that up there. This card was so much fun. I've got lots of ideas for these little critters. Okay. And just leave an equal margin top and the sides. Trying to get it straight. Now, as I mentioned, I've got my letters already taped. So now all I have to do is center them on the card like that, see where they're going to go. And I think they'll probably go there. So just glue while they're still on your low-tack tape. Add your glue. This probably is the thing that takes the most time. The Alphabet a la Mode is a great set. I think I got that last year when it was part of Celebration. That was a nice perk for Celebration. Now, I didn't save the little dot that goes at the end of the exclamation point. It is so tiny that you can barely see it. I saved it, but it somehow got disconnected from where I saved it, so that's why I'm using a gem. Okay, that looks like about where I want it. I'm going to press it down, and carefully, you have to carefully lift the tape off because it's going to pull your letters. And you'll still have time. And that letter looks like it moved a little. You'll still have time to adjust them. But actually that looks pretty darn good. Okay. Now I'm going to add dimensionals to my doggies. Raise them up. I find that I occasionally will make my own sentiments and type them up in Word and print them out if I find something that I just don't have a stamp for. See, I need some minis for this one. The end. Don't want it to be showing. Let's add one more here. Why not? Oh, I need one at the end too. There we go. I never closed my stamp pad either. Okay, we're going to add that to the DSP. After we pull the dots off, or the backings off. My husband came in to my craft room this morning and says, "What are these circles I keep finding all over the house?" I said, "They're the back of my dimensionals. They're everywhere." He just laughed. Okay. So we're going to add that here. It's really a simple card. There's not much to it. The worst part was cutting out the wow and gluing it down. Okay, so here's my bow, which also needs dimensionals. So what do you think of the bow wow as a congratulatory card? Do you think that was kind of stupid, or I thought it was kind of cute? I don't know how everybody's sense of humor is. There we go. And let's get our exclamation point finished off. With a small cloud cover gem. Okay, we're ready to glue that to the front of the card. It's still cold again here this morning. I thought it was starting to warm up. It was 34 again this morning. I think next week we're supposed to be in the 70s again. And there's just a small border around. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for the inside. We're using Congratulations, and it's from the Reason to Celebrate. Actually, I think I did that in Secret C instead of black. Yes, I did. Either one would work. Secret C is almost black, but I like the Secret C with the cloud cover. I think it looks really pretty. Okay, looks good. Now what we're going to do is put our little footprints on there. And let's see, where Here they are. And I did those in cloud cover, I believe, but I stamped them off. Yes. So cloud cover. Just take a piece of paper to stamp it off. Oops, they're upside down. Just a light showing of footprints. You don't have to stamp it off if you don't want to. Okay, we can put that in our card. The next card I do, I won't wait till next Monday. I'll probably post it in the middle of the week. It'll be the birdies. That was my favorite part of the set. I mean, I love them all, but the birds really caught my eye. And there we go. Bow wow. Congratulations. I don't have anybody in particular to give this to, but I'll be ready when I need to congratulate somebody. So here's our cards. I'll give you a sneak peek of the one we're going to do with the bird. And that'll be, like I say, probably... Oh, I guess I won't give you a sneak peek. I don't know where it is. I thought it was in here. Oh, here it is. Here's the one we're going to do next. It'll be a book fold card. So looking forward to doing that. Okay, well, that's it for today. It was an easy card. I did a lot of the prep work, so you didn't have to watch me color or cut out things, but I wanted to give you the directions are going to be, the measurements will be in the description of the video, so you can make this yourself. And I want to also remind you that it's time to redeem your bonus coupons. So if you've got any bonus coupon codes that were emailed to you last month from your orders from last month, make sure that you use them up before the 28th of February. That's when they will expire. Until then, just remember, making and receiving handmade cards. That's what joy feels like. See you next time. Bye-bye.